and gentlemen, I'm back with the third installment. Right? The third installment, because it got to be done, man. You know, real quick, let me just go off on a little side tangent. Before I started uploading YouTube content myself, when I was just, like many of you guys, I was just a content consumer, like many of you guys, right? I used to notice that certain YouTubers that I rock with, I would notice that every couple of months, they would rehash something that they already talked about. And I would think to myself, do they need to really repeat themselves? Like the first time they did the video, dudes that watched them faithfully didn't get nothing from the first time they talked about this shit. And I'm like, damn. Right? So it wasn't necessarily the content creator that I was looking at. I was looking at a lot of guys' inability, right, to take in information and then apply it to their real lives. And it just dawned on me. Dudes are just scared, man. Dudes are just afraid to do shit. And in doing so, inevitably, you're going to take shortcuts to shit. One thing about me, right, and I've always felt this way, at least since I was a teenager, late teenager, you know what I'm saying, 17, 18. When it came to women, I just said, fuck it. And I just threw caution to the wind. I said, fuck it. I'm just going to do me, man. I'm going to let these females know exactly what I'm trying to do. Closed mouths don't get fed, right? But what I'm noticing from a lot of guys, y'all are too cautious. You're too cautious, man. Proverbs 15:2. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge rightly, but the mouth of fools pours forth foolishness. Now this is temper your words with caution. The problem is, far too many of you guys, you temper your words to a fault. And I've talked about this before. I've talked about how guys temper their words. You have to stop doing that, man. There is a such thing as being too cautious out here. But let's get to this. Let's get to this. Most men don't know how to flirt. Part 3. Gentlemen, I want to plant a seed in your subconscious. Not in your conscious mind, in your subconscious mind. Because see, your subconscious mind is where your conscious actions come from. All of your fears, all of your concerns, all of your worries are in your subconscious mind. So when you go out in the world and you are consciously doing things, those fears are actually crippling you. They're paralyzing you. So I want to plant a seed in your subconscious mind so one day it will become a conscious action. Here's the thing. When it comes to flirting, we did a joint, right? The Real Game No Theory joint. And I believe there was at least 2 calls where guys were talking about how they were flirting with women. And then when you ask them, describe what you did. And all they were doing was having regular mundane conversation. Gentlemen, telling a woman she's pretty is not flirting. That's a compliment. Let me explain what I mean. If I go up to a dude, I'll be like, say, brother, that's a sharp looking suit. You look good in that suit, brother. I gave him a compliment. I'm not flirting with that motherfucker. And just because you're giving a compliment to the opposite sex doesn't mean it changes the dynamic of what's going on. You're just giving them a compliment. Telling a woman she's pretty, no. Here's the thing, right? Now, there's typically 2 types of flirting. There is playful flirting, right? Which you're not intending to have sex with anybody at all. Women do this all the time. Women are far better at doing this than men. Women flirt all the time, and it's just playful banter. It's meaningless, right? That's playful flirting. Now, I actually do this as well, you know what I'm saying? Because it keeps me sharp. It keeps my mouthpiece sharp, right? Okay, and I talked about this in a previous video. When you're out here talking to these women, even if it's not a woman you are interested in sexually, flirt playfully. Now, the other type of flirting is actually sexual in nature. Sexual in nature. This is the whole point of flirting with a woman that you are interested in, but more specifically that you are sexually attracted to. What you want to express to her with the combination of the shit that you're saying and your body language. It's this. I'm that dude. You want to express, number one, that you are a supremely confident guy and that you are the type of guy she needs to be dealing with, while simultaneously letting her know that you view her in a sexual way. You don't have to tell a woman, hey, I want to fuck you. Hey, we should leave and go back to my crib so I can fuck the shit out of you. You ain't got to say none of that to express upon a young lady that you desire her in a sexual way. Now, y'all saw the video, right? Y'all saw the video, a little clip. Pay attention to his body language. Look how he sat at the table and he pointed to his name tag. He sat down like he was the shit. Now that was from a clip from speed dating, right? If you don't know what speed dating is, look the shit up. But my point is, that was a clip for, motherfuckers who speed date. He sat down like, I don't know who sat here before me, but they ain't me. I'm that motherfucker. Oh, by the way, he ain't even say his name. He just pointed to his name like, And he looked at the chick like he already knew he had it in the bag. That's that type of confidence and damn near bordering on arrogance that motherfuckers need to have, man. Give me a moment. Now, let me just say this. The whole point of flirting with these women that you guys are dealing with is to actually behave as though you are attracted to them, right? That's the point. You want them to know that you are attracted to them. Just going up to a woman, introducing yourself and telling her she's pretty, that's not enough. It's not enough. Let me read y'all something. Flirting or coquetry is a social and sexual behavior involving spoken or written communication as well as body language by one person to another, either to suggest interest in a deeper relationship with the other person or if done playfully for amusement. And I alluded to that earlier. Now, if you don't know what coquetry is a flirtatious behavior or a flirtatious manner. Now, I've previously talked about sexual innuendos, right? What's a sexual innuendo? Let me just read the definition so guys can understand. Sexual innuendos is the term sexual innuendo has acquired a specific meaning, namely of risque, double entendre by playing on a possible sexual interpretation of an otherwise innocent uttering. Right? As an example, we need to go deeper. Can be seen as either a request for further inquiry or allude to sexual penetration. A real quick example, and I've talked about this. Let's say you're sitting in a bar and a young lady comes sit down. Let's say it's been raining outside and you're interested in this young lady and you introduce yourself and you start talking to her. Now keep in mind, it's been raining outside. So she says, damn, I'm so wet right now, right? She's talking about the rain. A sexual innuendo to that would be like, well, damn, you wet already? Usually this doesn't happen until I'm at least 10 minutes into the conversation with women I just met. Here's the thing, gentlemen. The seed you want to plant is of a sexual nature. You want the conversation to switch. Okay, there's nothing wrong with playfully flirting at first, right? You're dipping your toe in the water. You're seeing how receptive the woman is to you coming to her in a certain way, right? Once you see that she's open, you step it up, right? You want to plant the seed that you are sexually interested in her. You want the conversation to switch from just playful banter to full-on flirtatious activity, which should involve touching. Touching, gentlemen. It should involve touching. You can touch the young lady's hand. You can have your hand on the small of her back while you're talking to her. If you guys are sitting in close proximity, you can have your hand on her thigh, right? You can lightly brush her face or her cheekbone if you're talking to her, right? Like, let's say you're talking to a chick, right? Same chick, like, let's say this is the same chick. She's been outside, it's been raining, so she's kind of damp, right? So maybe while she's talking, she has her hair close to her mouth, right? You know, if you ever been talking to a girl and she had a strand or two of hair like close to her lips, and let's say you guide your fingers over there and you lift those strands of hair off her lips and you place them behind her ear, and you kind of, as you're withdrawing, you turn your hand around and you kind of graze her cheek with the back of your knuckles ever so gently, and you say, damn, you got some sexy lips. You want to plant the seed, gentlemen, that you view her in a sexual way. Now, I mean, you can use X-rated language, you can use R-rated language, or you can just be smooth with your shit. Most men don't know how to flirt. Part 3. That's all I got. It ain't hard to tell. I'm out.